No, it's actually saying stop the stream. Right, so that should really resume. What the friggin' hell is going on? There you go. There you go. Revisit. One watching. No, it's actually coming up on some of the projects. So, what the? No, it didn't save them out. Oh, you gotta love this top chat to live chat. You got fuck's sake. Right, okay, whatever. Let's just try that with that. I'll put it into bleep mode. Obviously, this got it shortened something out. Fuck's sake. So the switch is working. We should have had voltage going in. So the switch is getting voltage to it. It just shortened out. Oh God. Silver tech. Sorry guys. One watching. So there is someone watching. Thanks for lurking. Who's ever lurking in the background? Obviously I've touched something on here and I was zapped. It knocked all the electric out. So, which, these old vintage bloody things, they're a nightmare. Up front. Now, if I remember correctly, that's on stop. Yeah, it is. Pause. that should be start. That should be start. So that should now be working, which, let me pull this up. I can see I can only put that down to bad contacts. These contacts might be bad. Let me clean these contacts up. They don't look all that great. I need, you know what I could have done with? Have I got a nail file in here? Let me have a look. Oh, without half it falling out. No, probably not. What's that for? Screwdriver. Excuse me. That's going to be contacts. Obviously, it's pitted. Yeah, there you go. Nail file. That's what you need. If I don't get stabbed in the process. I'm doing this off while it's switched off because I don't want to get zapped. Yeah, there is. Yeah, these ain't the greatest. Well, them ones are now touching lovely. I'll do these ones. Yeah, there's like shit going off these. That's clean. Cool. We do this one. God, you couldn't make that more equal to get to. It is a nightmare. It obviously shortened them out and it didn't like them. I can't even get in there. It won't even let me get. Can I get to that one underneath? Oh, wow. Obviously, this is where the power's got to get to. Yeah, there is the marks on it. Cool. Every contact's been cleaned. So let me plug her back in and try that again. God, I hate these things. Okay, did you restart a PC? It won't resume. When I click on, if you get an interruption, right, like, say for say the power gets cut off, you're supposed to go into OBS, go to where it says start the stream, and then you've got manage, resume the stream. Yeah, that weren't showing up. But on the, when I had to look at the app was still saying it'll resume briefly. But it obviously weren't showing up in OBS. So OBS is still broke. And that's the new version. So it was showing up. So I had to delete the footage in the stream because you can't resume it from the app. You have to do it from the PC. OBS. No surprise. No surprise whatsoever. Now when I switched this on, all I touched was the live and the neutral, and it knocked out the piece. It knocked all the things out. Yeah, your mic's actually getting muffled. Oh right, sorry, bruv. Let me have a look. It's the only thing with these bloody microphones. Let's see if I can actually pinch it up here and see if that actually is better. Right, I'm going to switch her on. Right. I think the contacts are dirty on this. I've just cleaned them with a nail file. See if that makes a difference. Nothing. We got nothing. We've still got no power. So there's obviously got to be a power related issue. Let me switch that off. I haven't cleaned these ones up. Let me clean these. These contacts are crap. Oh, and I didn't check the fuses. That's a good shout. Fuses look good. I'll test them. See if we're getting continuity. These ones don't look all that great. They now pit up. I hate these type of connectors. They're not the greatest. That's clean. So I can eliminate these then. That's clean. It feels like the connectors, something's not engaging it to power this up. But I'm going to just quickly test. I've got it in continuity, so I can have a quick test. I didn't check the fuses. Good. 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 Right, okay. And we'll make sure we're on 220 to 230, which we are. We're not on 110. Cool. Absolutely. These things are a beast. So I've just tested to see if we got connection to the switch, which we have. This was working. So this indicates to me that it's an engagement. It's obviously not something stopping this from actually working. Let's fast forward. Check. Start. That should be in a start position, which then it's not plugged in up front. Because you would have heard it spinning, because the motor would have spun at the top part there. So I've cleaned contacts. Them contacts, there's 3 lots of contacts I've cleaned. So it sounds like to me it's still not getting power. Double check to make sure them contacts are clean. Yeah, they're lovely and clean. They're clean. That one's clean. That's switched on from so it don't seem right up this end. This is where the power is. This is what makes me think it's still. So bring me up to speed of what you're doing. Right. Obviously, I still need a belt for this, but the last time it powered up, we went the belt. It worked. Took the belt off. It's now not working. No power. Tried probing it from the switch, and it knocked the complete ECD, it knocked the unit out, which it tripped out completely, ended the stream. So, and it ain't a short because I was touching the metal. So obviously all of this is ground. So obviously something's, it's rather, and I've just checked the fuses. Fuses are good. I still think it's power related, and it's something to do with round here. We've got earth that is, it's earthed out to the chassis, which it is. So that's the engagement when you switch her on. Well, that's what I was probing to see if we was getting any voltage coming out of the switch. So you've got a brown and a white, and a blue and a white. Yeah. No, we ain't. We got brown and a brown and a blue and a white. Right, okay. Which then feeds the power down, comes up to here, which looks like it then feeds into the transformer. So it looks like, let me just double check to see that. Let me see if I can try and trace where these wires actually go. The thin wire actually comes up to the fuse system, which is the white one, branches onto the red, onto the transformer. But where does that brown one go? Because it's coming off the switch. It looks like it goes through and it comes up here. Now I've got this come off. Now where's that come off? So that looks like that clips onto something. Let me see if I can try and put this back. It looks like, what is it, a reel-to-reel? Yeah, it's a Grundig on this one. This is the last of the Grundigs. Yeah, you know I said I had problems when it comes to, you know that you was having issues when you used to sell on eBay. Well, I had an outcome today, and I think he was, I don't know if he was Nigerian related. He tried to, I sold one of my, I sold that, you know, the mini disc and the CD one. Now I put it all in the description, and this is the trouble what you get when you're selling on eBay. And put it on eBay. He bought it, which I put it up for 45. It wasn't a lot at the end of the day, which they don't fetch it too much. And now obviously I showed video evidence that it was uploaded and it was all working. The mini disc, the CD obviously didn't. Obviously had power. So I was quite accurate, and I uploaded proof, like video proof to it. So on that front, then he obviously sent me some sarky texts saying that you scammed me at the end of it. And to top that, obviously my feedback score is a 5-star rating, right? So I'm honest and truthful on what I put in the description. I upload, showing it all. It's not as if I'm just taking pictures. I upload video as well to prove that it's all what it is at the end of the day. So I'm accurate in 99% of all my uploadings and on that front. So you're not scamming someone. You're just being honest and truthful to tell them. So it obviously does need, you know, it's all right for spares or repair. Well, he said that it ain't working, and he didn't upload any of the information. Which straight away, yeah. So you did list it as parts. It's not what I did. That's exactly what I did, and I'll prove it. I'll put it on there. So I've literally. That's the annoying thing about it when you list these things on eBay, and this is what you said in one of your interviews when you was doing your podcasting. I can understand the reasons why. So obviously, I've put on there clearly looked at literally, this is exactly word for word. So I'm going to show you the original listing. So I've put on there Grundig Fine Arts mini disc player, CD player, right? And I've put on there for parts only, and I'll read you out the description, right? I said item is for parts or repair. The mini disc works, but the CD drive don't work. You can hear the motor going, but there is no eject. So it could be a simple fix, or it's also, and there's a little rust on the back with some scratches, pictures shown. It does not come with a mini disc, and it was only to test, right, at the end of the day. And then I uploaded a video, which you can clearly see. I put the video up, which now you can see a video with the mini disc working, and it works perfect. He then come back and actually tried to say to me, no, you sold me, you scammed me, you've not listed, you said it was working, and clearly it's not working at the end of the day. Well, there's video proof that's showing it was all working. It was well wrapped up, used a lot of bubble wrap, padded it all out, put it in a nice heavy duty box. And obviously with eBay, any sort of like problems like that, you know what it's like. They sort of hold your money in, then thinking, right, then we've got to investigate it. It's then down to the seller to negotiate with the buyer at the end of it. And it's the headache involved, because now you're backwards and forwards with messaging, which it's rather got damaged in transit, or, right, or they've broke it, and then they try to blame, which that it ends up being the truth. They broke it and then blame the transit that it got broke in transit, which I can't prove. Which it's the same with that combi down there, which exactly the same thing. But that wasn't. That was dropped and deliberately broke, which I've got paid out. So that's one of the items you can take with you when you come down, if you decide to come down. But that fun. So that now, obviously, I had to open up a dispute, and today eBay awarded me the money to saying, no, he's right. You've got video proof that obviously we can clearly see it was working. You've not uploaded any information showing you what's not working on it. And they have awarded me to pay back the money what they were supposed to give to start with. Just rejoined. Oh, right, I just joining the stream. I was just lurking. Sorry. Oh, hello, Michael. Yeah, sorry, bud. I got the electric got completely knocked out. Yeah, so you was covered by that. Yeah, exactly. So I got covered by eBay. They've only just paid out on it, on that front. So, but the headache, it's literally the headache involvement, Pico. You know what it's like. This is reasons why I can understand reasons why you stop it. It's just, it's the headache involved. You really got a lot to think in that you can't earn a living, and not by, when it comes to eBay standards, because there's just too many red hoops to jump through at the end of it. It really, sometimes you're just thinking, why am I bothering? You know, and you're right, it does. You know, and it's a prime example of what that's like. So, yeah, we tried to get out of that, but obviously it backfired on him, because he didn't upload no photos. He didn't show proof of what was not working at the end of the day, and he left me negative feedback, which I had to revert back to YouTube, back to eBay to take off, which they'd done. Well, there was an investigation going. He called me a scammer. He said at the end of it. But when I checked his webpage, right, on his eBay listing, he had seven red flags, and they was all saying he was doing the same thing. So I went, there you go. And I think they looked into that. And at the end of it, so it looked like obviously he was it's not the first time he was actually trying to do that. Yeah, there's a lot of scams on eBay electronics, and it's worth listing something that's faulty. So you're better off actually pulling it apart and then listing it separately. Yeah, you're right. Exactly. And then just listing it literally for parts for that part, and not selling it as whole. But it's the headache. It's going through all of that. It's a lot of the rigmarole. You're thinking, Jesus. But the main thing is they sorted it in the end. So I got an outcome of it this morning, which they said, no, that's fine. So yeah, but when I checked his feedback, 7 negative feedbacks, and it looked like he's done that to quite a few sellers. So on that front, because some of the sellers are actually saying it, buyer beware of this buyer, because it's not the first time. It looks like he's tried to scam people at the end of the day. eBay must have looked into that, because I posted that on the last message. They've looked into it and then feel like, yeah, actually looks like he... So it was working, and I think what he's tried to do is actually tried to get back out of it to get his money back at that front. But you've got to be so careful on eBay. You really have. It's you get good people, I suppose, and it's good and bad in everything. Called me a scammer. Really? Right. I think he wants to look further afield when it comes to that part. Obviously, I'm not the scammer. I wasn't the one. I was honest and truthful in my listings, and he looked at that and thought, no. He said, aim to leave me bad feedback. Yeah, each listing is separate. It's saying it's like it's apart from that. That's worth part. Yeah. So it's worth buying just for the part and not with the whole unit. You know, obviously I want to get rid of half of this stuff because I've got too much in it. I want my front room back to some degree on that front. Now this should have posted. This should have actually been live. But we've got no voltage into this whatsoever. Which we haven't. We've got no bulb activity. Which I'm really surprised, because I thought that would have been. We should have had some voltages to that, and we've got none at all. Yeah, getting back to that stream. Yeah, what's the make and model to that reel-to-reel? Yeah, I've just had to try to have a look for that. Let me switch her off. Yes, where was that? It is a grand. Let me write it in the commentary. GTO, it's a TK147. 146, sir. It's a 146. So, TK146. It's a Grundig TK146. First, check the fuse. Yes, actually, that's a good shout. That's one thing I did not check. Let's test the fuse in the plug. Yeah, it's a Grundig TK146. That's a 1 amp fuse. Really? Wow. Don't tell me if it was just a fuse that they took out. I've never seen, out of all the years, I have never seen a 1 amp fuse. I've seen 5 amp, 3 amp, and 12 and 13 amp. Never a 1 amp fuse. That's unbelievable. Let me get me tester. That's probably why. Fuse is good. We got a light on the fuse. I can't believe that. That's a 1 amp fuse. So the actual fuse is good. Wow. Yeah, that's unbelievable. Let's see to make sure that the connectors are all nicely tight. Yeah, they are. Yeah. Yeah, we've got all nice connections. I've never seen that. I've never seen literally a 1 amp fuse inside something like that. This machine is partly, it's a live chassis, so very normal for the 60s and 70s. The German tape recorders, that means that the mains is separate, and it partly fails under the metalwork and becomes live. Yeah, lick it. Yeah. If I lick that, I light up like Carfor's Christmas tree that he put 60 volts in. Yeah, the main suppression is the capacitor is shorted. They're infamous, and the rifter cap styles. Oh no, not the rifter caps. Them rifter caps are a nightmare. I didn't check that on that front, but you're right. Them bloody rifter caps. I've had 2 of them go on TV, so I need to check the rifters. Yes, you're right, and I can see a rifter cap right down the bottom, which is right underneath there. let me unplug this, because obviously I don't feel safe with that plugged in. So we've got a rifter cap right down here. I didn't check that, the rifter cap, and they are known for going bad. They've got a really high failure rate. Yeah, the capacitor is shorted for the rifter cap, so the capacitor across the mains. And literally, it's funny you should say that, because it's right next to, it looks like it goes to this connection here that goes to part of this. So what I need to do then is get this board out and check that capacity. Yeah, Andy has gone live. Oh, is he? Is he just gone live, Mr. Swindon? I asked him earlier on. I said, you going live? He didn't answer me. I did say to him that. Let me double check. Yeah, he has. He's gone live. Yeah, you're right, guys. So I need to get this board out. God. This is going to be fun and games, because I'll tell you the problem I've got. Right. These are well wedged in, for one, right? All right, I can lift that up so it can give me a bit of room. I could take this one up. That can give me a bit of room. Right, that one's out. That one's out. Now, the only issue is getting to this. So it looks like... Double check. Do you know what? It's funny you should mention that, Mr. Pico, sir. I had an inkling that it could be a rifter cap. And I've had 2 rifter caps crack right across, because they're made out of glass. 90% is most likely, I bet the money is the main the suppression capacitor is shorted across the rifter cap, across the main. So the symptoms are perfectly matching. Shocked when you get plugged in, leaking to the chassis. I'm going to have a look at it. That's exactly what I'm going to have a look at. And what you'll find inside is a clear yellowish block, which that is what I just pointed to. And it's funny you should mention that, right? This was working lovely. I had that Ferguson TV, right? Shaky, Shaky, how you doing, my friend? Thank you for popping on. Just popped in from Andy's, aka J Fixes, posted a link. Oh, nice one. That's thank you for popping on. So yeah, I'm thinking I had that Ferguson TV, the 1980s Ferguson TV. And it went bang. And when I looked, it's got 2 rifter caps in now, and they're glass fused ones. And they're notorious for cracking or bulging, ready to go. They've got a really high failure rate. So I'm thinking this could be, it's probably on the verge of going, or it's already gone. But I need to get the board out to have a look. But this is going to be fun, getting the board out. Well, the board looks like it comes this way. Yeah, it does come this way. But I've got to undo that screw. There's a big screw down here. Let me post a screw and I can show you. Right. So, right across... Where is it? Right across in this corner, there's a screw. Let me get a... You can actually, you might be able to see it. There's a screw right behind, right down here. That's the screw. It looks like it's holding this plate, which is holding this plate. And I've got to undo these 2 brass screws as well. So I've got 2 brass screws in that one. And then all this lifts out so I can gain access to that cap, because there's no way of getting access to that cap. They've really made that well. So, yeah, this is going to be fun. That's probably why I've got no power. Should have had power. Oh, well, that went well. Right, all right, don't worry, I've got it. If that rifter cap is gone, then... But I've never seen a 1 amp fuse in a plug. I've got to admit, that one's new on me. God almighty. Yeah, these have never ever been off. I would say 99%. This is 100% all original. Hold up. What to do for a proper repair is move it completely first, test it again, replace it, unit only. Class 2 X-State safety capacitors. They're not normally a film cap, but otherwise you're building a toaster. Yes, totally agree with this, sir, 100%. It's a 0.04 UF to a 0.1 UF X2 200. So it is, well, that sounds about right, because it is about a 275 volt vacuum capacitor. So obviously you've got the voltages. It's going to be high voltage because it looks like it's coming down, and it looks like it comes across. So it's being bypassed. So yeah, you're right. I won't know until I get this board out, and get it out and test it. But they are, you are right, they are notorious for going bad or just shorting. I've had 2 of them go on that, and they didn't give me no warning. Them caps just went bang. So these are not the easiest to get to. Definitely not the easiest. So these have what they call a live chassis. Yeah. Yeah, I'll never actually give them a warning. They just go. They don't give you, like most capacitors, don't give you any warning. Look at that car radio I was mucking about with, right? Put in 2 amps on a car radio, and the next minute it's smoked. It took the capacitor straight out because it ain't been powered up for ages. Right, so what else is holding the boarding? It shouldn't be nothing holding the boarding. Oh, I've got to take that out. Oh, God. Because that's going to interfere with this coming out. So I've got to take the other piece out. I've got a really sneaky suspicion that that's on its way. That's probably why I've got no power. It worked. It did work, but then it just stopped. And if that cap's gone bad, I didn't know it had a rifter cap. It was only till you mentioned it, because I couldn't see it. When I probed it and then looked down here, I can now see it with my eyes. And I can't tell if that's got a crack down it. If that's split in any way, chances are that's going to be my culprit, because they hold high voltages. Right, that's got to come out. What else has got to come out? Right, let's take the spring out. God, Jesus, this. Right, let's get the small pliers. That's putting tension onto this, because this has got to come out. Oh, Shaky subscribed. Thank you, Shaky. Shaky. Yeah, thanks for subscribing, my friend. Much appreciated. See, again, I don't know. Did a notification come up when you subscribed on the screen? Because I didn't hear anything. Now, and my commands should be working. No, there you go. Am I not surprised? PC Diddy had issues this morning when he was streaming. All his OBS was mucking up on his camera, on his Steam Deck. Am I not surprised? Obviously, I've had a nightmare for the last 2 days through that. It's been one of them episodes to thinking the update, and the obviously OBS is still broken because I was supposed to resume his stream. So the new version, what it updated to, is completely still broke. Great, lovely. And I've now turned updates off because I can't go through that again. It just gives me an headache. Right, that is off. Right. Right, I've pulled that out, right? So these clips in, so for future reference, which I'm going to show, right? What I've just took off here, this clips in to here, and then it slots into that slot, which is that one there. Right, so I can always go back and view this at that. Obviously, this is just to get the board out because I can't gain access to the board. Right, all that just to get to the bloody. Yeah, they've made this accessible, you know. Yeah, I don't do the updates. Yeah, well, I had no option. It just done it for me, and I come back and it was all bloody altered, and that was it. I had a nightmare on my hands. Hold up, what's that down here? I couldn't see that. That's a bit shifty. Oh, right, it's a cable tie. Give me. Oh, wait a minute. I thought earlier I found a broken wire. No, it's a cable tie. Now, obviously, I still can't move this so much because it's all connected down here. Bloody hell, the wires. It's like you've got no movement. No movement whatsoever. And I want to get in this corner because this is where the rifter cap is, right? And it's the most awkward spot. There's only one rifter cap on here. Lucky enough, there ain't. And it's right in that bloody corner behind here. And it's right here, which I can see. But I can't, obviously, you can't tell that when it's all down there properly. It looks alright, but then you can't tell with these caps. They're like they are like a ticking time bomb waiting to go. There weren't no more, was there? Let me double check. No, but there is a fuse. Oh, I didn't see that. See, you can't tell with there. There's a fuse there. Let me test that fuse. I just thought you was going to be picking up the carts to install. Right, let's just test this fuse quickly. Fuse is good. Right, okay. Don't even know what that fuse was for. Right. Jesus. Yeah, there's no movement on there. The only other way is to take that rifter cap out and have a look. Which I'm having a really hard job here to... Obviously, there's no wiggle room. Move this up a bit. See if there's a little bit of wiggle room around here. Is that any better? Not really. I've got to go and pick up some orcs to install. No worries, my friend. No worries, Pico. A cap that it looks alright, but then I can't really tell properly because it's not helping into the circuit wise. It's too... because they are notorious for going bad. That front. So I think what I've got to do is I can't really tell. It's trying to get that out God, it ain't even the easiest to get out. Jesus, talk about half blinded. Right. I think part of that cap looks like it goes to... Actually, let's give that a quick visual inspection. Just make sure there ain't no wires come off on that front. I think that's one end of the one capacitor, which it goes down to... I don't know if that goes down to there. It looks like it. That's one leg, which is this one. And the other one could be... It looks like it comes up to here. So that's... which really don't help, because you can't get to see... You can't get to see whereabouts these caps are soldered in. Got wires coming off on this section. The cap don't look bad. It actually looks in good. It looks in good health. Oh, sorry guys. Let me double check, because it's really awkward. You've got no room to manoeuvre. I'm just trying to have a visual inspection to see if I can get a visual inspection of it. Careful with touching these, just in case there's a charge. Yeah, I can't see. I've looked at one side of the cap. The cap don't look too bad. The cap don't. It's obviously this is not the easiest to get in and out. I'm not seeing any bulges or splits. Which normally, that indicates that these rifter caps normally just go. I can physically see there's no split or bulge on the actual cap itself. But I can't see one side of the cap. Yeah, I'm just having a visual inspection now on the other side. See if there's any cracks or splits. I don't think that. I think this cap's good. I can't see it. Well, I can see half the other side, and it looks in good nick. It's not bulging or split or cracked. They are notorious for going, it's like you said. I still think that it's obviously a switching issue. That this is obviously the engagement. It's not turning this on. So it's rather this, like these contacts are not putting power to bolt this on, because it feels like it's not got no power at all. It's completely dead. And the rifter cap is normally, I'd say that is a culprit. You see, this is what you've got to be careful of. Bending things like this up. Let's clean that up. It still looks a bit pitted. That's better. No, the actual cap looks good. It's not damaged in any way. So I'm gonna inspect. Just give it a visual inspection. Make sure that we ain't got no issues else on the board. Didn't know there was a fuse there. No. Oh, there is another rifter cap. You're 100% right. Was that a fuse? Let me double check. Pico. If you're not only the only things, it could be a main cable, actually, yeah, like a grinding rubber cable that turns on. Check between the live and the chassis where it actually enters. There could be a rectifier short. Actually, yeah, you're right. It actually did, like bridge rectifiers or a short on the bridge. It will spark or blow the fuse. Well, it's funny you should say that. I've just found another that looks like a mini. That looks like a mini version of the rifter cap, which you said right down in the bottom. You said they could have two caps. Well, guess what I found? Right down here, another rifter cap, and it's a miniature, and it's a small version. That's a big version, obviously, because power's getting up to it. And there's a small version down here, and I didn't even see that. And that looks like a rifter. It actually looks like a rifter cap. Or that could be a fuse, but it looks like it. They don't normally do small rifter caps like that. They normally do they're just standard sizes, which are them big ones. That looks like, I don't know if that's a fuse, but they put like a shield over it. It looks too small to be like a rifter cap. Oh. No, that ain't a rifter cap. That looks like a fuse or something that they've put over, like a shielding over it. That's weird. I've never seen that before. Oh, well, that ain't going to help. I found a problem straight away. Oh dear. The fuse is literally snapped in half. Well, yeah, that probably will go to a part of it. Oh dear. I've just literally looked down and it's in two halves. Well, there you go. I think that's probably the big cause why it's not powering on, and it's right down here. Oh, great. And I've got to find out what fuse this is. Yeah, that's obviously not going to help. Right, okay. Just make sure there ain't nothing else on that front. That's probably why. It looked all right from the top. It's only when I looked down, I went, oh. Well, yeah, there you go. That's how I found it. Literally, I found that. Well, yeah, that's probably why you've probably got no power. I mean, it bored had to come out because there's no way I would have found that anyway. Now, I've got to put that under the microscope. Believe it or not, it ain't broke, but the glass is broke. Yeah, that looks like. Oh, right. Well, that's interesting. We still don't know if this is the problem. Let me put it under the microscope and have a quick gauges on that front. We can have a quick look to see what voltages. Let's go into the Eakins camera. Oh, there we go. It don't work. Yeah, of course it don't work, because the camera never works. Jeez, it never works, this camera. I hate these things. I hate technology. Technology never ever seems like it works or it don't work. Well, yeah, I've got the... There you go. So I've got to bring that up to there. And then you guys can actually see it. I'll put some power. Better off doing it. Pico. It's good they actually narrowed it down a lot. The Grundig T46 to PC users normally blow in 40 just in case on the DC side. So it actually became suppressors cap anymore. So it's moved that it obviously points to overload. What fuses protects us after that is the transformer rectifier. It's a smoothing cap, the rest of the machine. So it's meaning sometimes it's pulling company onto the DC realm. It usually is a suspect in order of its probability, so it's a shortage bridge rectifier, very common. The old early silicon bridges fail short. Symptoms: fuses pops instantly, no motor, no movement, transfer hums briefly, and sometimes one smell. Test the power off. Meters on diode mode across the DC output readings. If the 0 ohms on both directions is a dead short to the rectifier. 50 ohm to a 500 ohm charging, then is a probably shorted and then replaced with a 2 point to a 4 point amp bridge rectifier. And they're cheap. And it's a permanent fix. Well, this could still save the day yet, but I couldn't see that on that front. I don't know why it's yellow. Fucking hell. Let me see it. That might make it a little bit. It's put 2 4Ks. No, that front. I'm going to put it on the other TV so I can have a look as well, because I can see it on here. I can see it on both. You guys can see it, and I'll have a lot more clearer view on this one because it puts a lot more sharper. Don't know why OBS seems to pull it out. I had to go out. Sorry, hello, Hot Cows. Yeah, how you doing, my friend? So what we actually got, finding this. I was trying to watch Tristian's channel last night, but he has problems with his streaming. He always tends to, for some reason, Tristian always tends to have constantly buffering on his channel. Shame, because obviously it's frustrating because like he's always dropping frames, or he's having internet issues, or the PC decides to do an update. No surprise there. Yeah, it was buffering bad last. Yeah, he's always having problems with his internet, and he says he's got a good internet. I don't doubt that he ain't, but it's frustrating because obviously you're trying to watch it, and I thought, next minute it just completely obviously, PCDD obviously had issues this morning with OBS with his his streamer bot, not stream bot, his Steam Deck. This is a 250 volt. It is a 250, sir. You are 100% right. Oh, sorry, guys. Let me see if I can try and zoom that in just a little bit. I can't make out what that is. This is a timed fuse, and it is a 0.6. So of a second. No, it's 0.63 amp. No, it ain't. It's got a 7. So it's got 0.63. Is that a 7? 7, 2. So it's yeah. Oh no, because it's got that's a forward slash. So it is 0.63 of a timed fuse. I'm trying to have a look. This is completely just caved in. I did it, but it's connected. It is working, believe it or not. Happy to help. Yeah, I better write that down actually. It is a 250 volt. It's a B rated. But it's definitely a timed fuse. It's got T for timed and it's got 0.63. Right, okay, let me write that down. Great. I don't think I've got any of them. I'm going to have to order one. So it's a timed fuse and it's 0.63 / 250 volt timed fuse. There ain't no other markings on it, is there? It's got a B. I put on there a B after the 250. I assume B's for like a bayonet type fuse. Yeah, obviously you've got a job to see it, but obviously I can see it a lot clearer under here. But there ain't no other markings on the top. I'm just double checking to see if there's any other markings. But it ain't broke. It's just the glass tube's broke. It's actually is working. Because if I put my multimeter across it, it's obviously it's fine. But I couldn't see it closely. That wouldn't have caused that. Even though if that was... But then I wouldn't know. No. No, that is gone. Oh. Right. Well, that's interesting. So that fuse has gone. Yeah. Big comparables like bridge rectifiers, they give a dead short. So he's sitting on that for decades. The meter across the capacitor reading. It stays near enough to 0. That means the fuse is blown. I'll test that. I'll do what Mr. Pico recommends. I tested that. I thought that was all right. Obviously, I had to pull the board out to have a look, and no, it's gone. But the wire don't look broke. Yeah. It don't feel snap though. It feels like it's connected. It seems intermittent. So I would say that's probably yeah, that's not great. Right, okay. Well, we found one problem with it, so let me come back out of the Eakins one then. Let's turn that off. Oh dear. Right, well, that's obviously not going to help the starters. Hold up. Let's read the message of Mr. Pico, because he's very helpful, this person. He's very, very knowledgeable on that front. Right, the output transmitter. I've got smoothing caps. He's given me a couple of things to read from here now. Jesus. It could actually narrowed it down a lot, but on the grounded tube, the PCB normally falls under the secondary DC side, so it's not for the incoming. So it obviously, I couldn't obviously see that from the top because the fuse was actually looking at the top. The fuse looked good, but when I looked at the side, I could see a split, which obviously you guys can't get to see that. So yeah, follow the 3 steps and pull it inside to see if you've still got the problem. But I suggest that there might be more actions. Well, I mean, there's no way I would have known that. and that looks, it feels like it's connected because there's resistance. When I ping it, it sort of pings back. But when I tested it across the multimeter, it's intermittent. So obviously that's not great. It's like you said, there could be multiple, there could be more than one option. But what caused that to fail? Would that be because obviously this being a live chassis, might could have been where it's banged? It's a possibility. Obviously, like all of these things, first thing I need to do is see if I can get a timed fuse for this. That's a bit of an odd size, 0.63 of a timed fuse at 250. I don't know if they actually do timed fuses for that. I hate working with vintage stuff. This is the only outcome that it always gives me a nightmare. Let me have a quick go and just see if I can get a timed fuse first. Otherwise, if I can't get a timed fuse for this, obviously it's game over. I'm going to be completely knackered. In the WhatsApps, it gives you the reasons what can actually cause it to fail. Yeah, I'm going to read that. First thing, let's see if I can get a timed fuse. So it's the T.063 /250 volt B fuse. Do they sell them? No, no exact matches. Oh, great. What did I just say this 20 seconds ago? Yeah, and there was quote, and the quote was, no, straight away. I've put in the exact fuse. There's no exact matches found at the end of the day. We've got a 6.3, but not 0.63. Oh God! What did I just say? 30 seconds. I bet I'm going to have an issue trying to get a fuse for this. This is vintage, remember? Michael Dilemma. No, he's a nosy. I hate working with vintage stuff. You and me, Mr. Hotcows. They're a nightmare to get components. The only glass fuses they've got, and they're £3.89. These are timed at 250, slow burn. That's an SB. This is a B fuse. So there must be like a B graded fuse, obviously, because they're time delayed on these. There's a slow burning one on here at 3.1. That's a 3 volt. Obviously, that's not even a 1 volt. 1 volt fuse because he's inside on here. Not 1 volt. 1 amp. 1 amp fuse. So the only ones they've got in here are 3.1 amp. There's plenty of 250s. There's different voltages on there. They got a timed one on here, 800 milliamp. They got a 2 amp one on here, timed one, slow burn. What did I just say? I'm laughing my arse off. Well, I'm going to come into a bit of a red herring here because now that fuse is obviously failed. What's the chances of actually getting a correct fuse to put back? And looking on there, 0, because they don't do them. So even if I found the problems, I still can't rectify it. Mick, you said that, yeah. Fuses. They don't sell vintage fuses. I hate working with that vintage stuff. Yeah, I totally agree. So the problem I've got now then, I found one problem, but I can't rectify it. Because, yeah, what's your channel name? My channel name is Find Vintage Stuff, try to repair it, but 9 out of 10 you can't repair it because you can't get the parts for. You're thinking, oh no, yes, that's about it. I should have just changed it to let's try to fix something that can't be fixed. So yeah, obviously retro restore. Mick, you look up in alternative fuses to Google. That gives you, I could try it. You know where that's going to go. AI will try and point me down a rabbit hole and come up with something completely different. Straight away, there's got to be an alternative fuse that you can put into this without overloading the circuit. They've put that in for a reason. Welcome to vintage. This is what vintage does. It literally does give you an headache. It's just getting the parts. I can fix it if I can get the parts. But getting the parts, yeah, that's a different matter. What fuse you got? The fuse that's actually come in here, let me type it in. I'll put it on chat. The one, I'll put it under the microscope. It's the exact one on there. It is a timed fuse. It's not even a slow burning fuse. It's got a B for burn. So what is a B for? Because normally if it was an SB, it'd be SB for slow burn. Or F for fast. So what is B? I've never heard of that one. So it's not. I've got to watch this keyboard. This keyboard's giving me, even this keyboard's on the blink. Slow burn. Right, okay. So it's a slow burning fuse. / yes, please. Yeah. It wasn't an offer there. Oh, okay. 250 volt B. Right. That is the fuse that that come out of it. So it's obviously, actually, let me measure it up because there's different lengths in sizes. Let me get me, oh no, actually, where's my digital calipers? My digital calipers will tell me because I can get the correct size. I've got my digital ones here. This will do. I keep forgetting I've got these. These are great. This is what I do all my measuring with, and I keep bloody forgetting I've got it. Hot cows. Yeah, the value of the Game Boy was broken. Laser written. Right, let's zero that up. Look, I'll zero it up. It still goes on to bloody 1. What? I tell you, I've got a Mickey Mouse fucking caliper here. Because obviously I'm putting it to 0. It just goes to 1. Make your mind up. Is it 0 or 1? It's still going to 1 to 0. Right, okay. It's fluctuating. Oh, I hate technology. I really do. It just don't work. You obviously thinking, oh no, it's crap. Yeah, that's well and truly busted. That's busted like you won't believe. Oh, there's no way I can't even glue it. Oh no, I'm saying like Mr. Worms. I'm getting a glue gun out. So, looking at here, under a mic, well, not. If I can stop it from fucking jingling around, I can't even put it back in because it's literally busted. Yeah, this is well choked up. Right. It looks like it is registering at 20 millimeters. So it's a 20 millimeter. It looks like 20.81 millimeter, without that being near enough. So it's 20 mil. 20 mil, right? Fuse. And it still goes on to, obviously, it's still fluctuating between 1 and 0. Mickey Mouse. Yeah. I've not got I ain't got enough work already to work, you know. So it's a 20 mil by the looks of it. 20 mil fuse. Let me write that down. I'm gonna fucking forget that. It's a 20 mil fuse. So obviously, straight away, now I've got to see if there's an alternative. Sorry guys, I've not been reading your comments. That sounds like that. Obviously, that's kind of wrong. Well, that's what is coming up on there. Yeah, grabbing his cube. Ockhouse, I've got my commands working, sir. I've got bin working, Borat's working. Let me show you, because you guys can't get to see me. Let me go into desktop screen mode. I'll go into OBS. So you guys, because obviously Streamer Bot is obviously still got some problems, but I've got commands working. So I've got these top commands working. So I've got 2000. So if you do exclamation mark, if you do alarm, bin, Borat, gay, nice, and Terry Tibbs. If you just put, I'm pretty sure if you just put Terry or something like that, it comes up. But that is the commands. It's actually working.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for
Good morning.
Me. Morning to you.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
So yes, gay's working. So I've got some of my commands working. Do it right. There is an alternative. Mr. Pico's put a lovely message in here. Looks at all the equivalent.
I looked down and she's got a pair of balls. I couldn't fucking believe it.
Oh, so the pin's working. Ockhouse is doing his best to try to do the things on there. Sorry guys, that threw me off. I go, who's that talking? I realised it was on the TV. I'm not used to hearing. Yeah, I think that that Wii U is just contracted to sell it now. Right, let me get back to that. That threw me off because I heard Terry Tibbs going, who fucking hell is that? I thought there was someone outside. It was actually, so yeah, actually that's actually quite funny. I'm not used to hearing commands. That's what it is. Right, as a different manufacturer, it's different naming conversions. So there's 650 milliamps, 630 milliamps, sorry, with an L250, most common alternative label to that. Right, okay. And that is a 063.70007. It's a lighter.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for
Good morning.
Morning to you.
Why are you gay?
Okay.
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
I can't get the commands up, Mr. Rockcow. So obviously it's still Streamer Bot. He's still got problems, but I've got some commands up. The main thing is that there is some commands on that front. Well, Mr. Pico has actually did find an alternative, but I've got to find that alternative. Have they got that one for sale? Because I can't go any further without a fuse. Because I'm going to be completely screwed. So I'm going to have to put this with more crap that I've already got dismantled. Yeah, I've got alert. The alert ones should be working as well. Or the alarm. I think it's an alarm. You type that in and it sort of like makes, like Andy's one does when it comes up in chat. The light fuse serials number is a part number. That's it. Alarm. So I can hear that coming through. So that's at least that. But obviously, I'm trying to get some others off Mr. Swindon, Mr. MK. Who else has got the commands? I need some commands on that front. Andy's got a few on his PC. I can pinch a few off him. MK, I can. Pretty sure MK's got some. I want to get some off Mr. MK. Then I can integrate them and put them onto my stream. Now I've got sort of I've got Streamer Bot back up and running. which it was before, but obviously. Yeah, Michael, yeah, confirmed. The Wii U is included, but it won't play any games. I've got a couple of Wii U's. I've got 3 of them. They've got a black screen. One of them no, 2 with a black screen. They look like they've been bricked. One's coming up with a RAM error. So it looks like someone's tried to flash it. Your face cam's dark, actually. Yeah, you're right, it is. What's going on with that? No, you're right. Face cam's gone all dark. Great, fucking lovely. There you go. It's got to be down to lighting. I've got to find I've got to see if I can try and get that time fuse from Mr. What Mr. Pico's put in there. See if I can actually try to get one. Obviously, now this that's probably why it's not powering up. I can't get no power to it. And I thought it would. I thought I've cleaned all the connectors. I thought it might be down to a connector issue. No, it's not. So obviously it looks like it's now down to a fuse, and I can't go any further until I put a fuse in. Yeah, check the blinds. Oh, close the blinds. Yeah, actually, that might be. Let me see if I can close the blind. I think you're right. It must have a light sensor to see if that might actually be causing, because the blinds might actually be causing the issues. There you go. Yeah, I'm going to be back. I'm going to go to the bank and grab some breakfast on the way. So I'll grab the Cube and the Wii U. See you later, Mike. Thanks for popping in, my friend. Much appreciated. Well, we can't go any further with this then. Again, obviously, it's now got. I'll have to sort. Obviously, I've got to get that alternative fuse before I go any further. I said that, didn't I? Actually, I did say 30 seconds ago. I said, if something's gone on here, can I get a part? Yeah, chances are no. Don't be daft. Can't get a part. We don't sell parts for this. They stopped them years ago. Got to be careful here. Fuck me, these are a nightmare. Lol. Tell you what, I'll tell you what. That's the only thing I would say working on with vintage. It's lovely. It is nice to see, because you don't get to see them no more. But I can understand why now 90% of them are in museums not working. But they're still there to show, because you can't get the bits from. Perhaps it weren't a good choice to actually go in with vintage stuff, because everything I've run into so far, I can't get bits for. I just cannot get parts for them. Which I totally would have thought that, oh, well, you might be able to get bits for that up front. So we've got a broken glass fuse that I can't do nothing of. So I've got to put these in a bag, right? Because I've already got this in 1,000 bits already. The chances are, if I get this back up and running, where am I going to find after parts? Because obviously I've took so many things apart and now I've lost count. And this was powered up, obviously, but that was really I mean, obviously they must have put that on there, right, where that looked like it was connected. It was only till I pointed it to the side and I see a chunk missing out of it, and I went, it was only till I pulled it out, you can't tell from the top. So obviously a chunk of that must have come out, and it was only till I literally looked at it with a strong torch, and then I looked at it and I went, bloody hell. Well, there you go. That obviously, that ain't going to help. That's probably why I can't get voltage around the board. Right, okay. Well, that's made short work of that. Right, let me see if I can put a bag to put all these bits in. I think there's one in the room. Let me go and grab one. No, Bronson, I haven't got nothing. Yeah, there you go. I'll put that in there. So I'm going to put all these bits in here. Right, them bits, because these have all got to go back in. Right. That way I won't lose nothing. I cleaned all them connectors and all. Mind you, they did need cleaning. I've lost my counter to see how many people I've got live going, which I can't see. Great. That's probably why that got shorted out when I tried to probe it, because there was no power. Obviously, it was getting to the transformer, couldn't go any further. Oh, I've got to put that fuse in there as well. Damn. Let me put the fuse in. Forgot all about the fuse. Low again. Yeah, welcome to the world of vintage. And it don't mean because it's vintage, it's the same with consoles. I was watching Michael last night with the Amiga, that he was having issues with his Amiga at the end of the day. So he's still running into problems with that Amiga because the Gotek he was trying to use. Now my Gotek, when I bought mine, must have been already flashed, because as soon as I put the ROM straight on, I didn't have to put no boot sequence in or nothing. I just dumped the ROM straight onto it and it worked straight off. So obviously that means the Gotek he's got is obviously not programmed to actually see it as a drive. Right, let's put that back in here. Fuck's sake. God damn it. Well, that made short work of that. So I'm going to have to try and hunt round, see if... Oh, look, I was looking for a bag. Fun. It's all about the fun of learning the experience of electronics. You've got to love it. And I was looking for that and all. That was me alternative. I've got a little bit of diesel left in me diesel heater. I'll probably have that on later tonight. Right. Otherwise, I'll be out completely and I'll be sitting in a freezing flat. Freezing cold flat, which is obviously not great. Right. Well, we sort of found a problem, so... which is good, because that's really helped me. But it's funny that Mr. Pico did say that he had a rifter cap in, and I went, oh no, don't sell me, Dave, because they're really bad. That Ferguson one went with a wallop when I switched it on. It went with such a bang. And yeah, and it was the rifter cap. They are really bad at going constantly. Now, Mr. Swindon actually did find 2 issues with this on the record player, which is, but he obviously was so tired, bless him, on that front. So it's obviously still took something out on the record player and not on the actual, because we got voltage. He did get voltage from this, because when he tested it, it was the record player that was caused. It was the record deck itself. Because when we tested this, we had a look, because obviously he's took this out, and I think he found a couple of shorts on a few components, which we took off the other record player. On that front, which I forgot what one it was. Was it a bridge rectifier? I'm pretty sure it was one of them shorts on the bridge rectifiers. And up front, he did probe it around. Yeah, it's all the info on Doc on Discord. Thank you, Pico. Much appreciated, my friend. Let me go to Discord. Discord. There's so many Discords in it. I've literally lost chat. Right, oh, there you go. The Grundig Doc. Thanks, my friend. So we're going to open this up. Docs. And we'll open it up always. Right. The conversion with the Gemini. So this is the T63B fuse alternative at the end of the day. So, which is this one here. This is the one you was talking about. The direct alternatives. Most common are labelled 63MA L. So it's a milliamp fuse, and that's an alternative fuse that we can use at the end of the day. So scheduled part number. Physical dimensions. Yeah, they said, 5 by 20 mil. Ockels, you said that don't sound right. I said to you when I measured that, it was about a 20 mil fuse. They are. 520, they are 20 mils. So it's actually got it on here. Some of these actually are 32 mils. They're the big sizes. This is the smaller ones. So obviously 20 mil must be about the right size. Do not use the F fast acting fuses. So it has to be this, right? Okay, and do not uprate the amperage. Move up to a 1 amp or 2 amp. It's a fire hazard. Jesus. So if you put a 1 to 2 amp in, you'll have a fire on your hands on that front. So the alternative is the most. It says the most common alternative is that one there, the T630 milliamp on that front, because it sounds about right. It's a milliamp and it's L rated 230, and that's the alternative. So that's the one that I've got to look for. But I'm glad that he put that in, because it says on there, do not use fast acting fuses or do not uprate the amperage. Obviously, 1 amp to 2 amp is obviously putting too much into the circuitry, and you'd have I didn't know you'd have a fire on your hands. I mean, that's the lot. I'll end up like the coder. Fucking, I've already knocked the electric out once. Obviously, trying to probe it. On it. So yeah, I've got that on there. I'll have a quick look. I will have a look on that. I wanted to see what Mr. Swindon replaced on this, because he found 2 issues before he got to the record player, because he put his thermal cam on, but he did change something on this board. Because look, he unplugged it, because he said, oh, let me test the caps. When I took this to Mr. Swindon, then he's a lovely place, and we did he found 2 shorts, and one was the voltage reg, one of these shorted voltage regulators, and I forgot what it was. Let me have a look in the other one. Let me find on there. Yeah, so it's good that I can get an alternative. If I can get an alternative, eBay might not sell them. They might not sell them. Remember that the vintage stuff is they're not the easiest trying to replace. Right, obviously I know exactly what he's pinched, because he's took it off this one. Oh my god. Right, there's the components. Right, that's interesting, because then I can get a fast look. Right, he's pinched. Yeah, this is bad. Right, there's 2 alternatives. Right, let me go for a Jimmy Riddle. I'll put that on there. Of course, all that water's gone right through me. Right. So it looked like, I think one of them was the thermal heat resistor, and the other one looked like a yeah, I think that these were both resistors, and they got burnt out. But I'm pretty sure he took it off the record. He took it off the board itself. So let me get rid of this one. I'll put that there. Because this one's undone as well. So I wanted to have a look to see whereabouts he took these off. It can give me a ballpark, because obviously I've got to put these back. I've got to put these back because I've nicked them off this board. Because the other ones are blown on that board. This one was all right, but we still got no voltages. Because when Andy tested them, he tested them on that little meter of these, and they both registered good. So he said, I'll take them off here. But he said this could have more problems on this side, which he didn't get round to testing, because obviously, and it was a 2.5 hour drive back, so we couldn't get any further. Now, obviously, where's them components? Oh yeah, they're up here. So obviously these are the ones that he desoldered from the board. He took off, and it was one of these. So I've got to find where he's took them off. These machines weigh a ton. They are really bad. Right. Just having a look at the. I'm just having a look at the. Right, we've got a diode up here. I think he's took one up here. That looks about right, because I can see it. That diode up there, the thermal heat diode, because I can see it's got a ZQ. Oh, it's got a ZD, so that's a diode. The diode's missing up here. So the diodes, he's pinched the one from up here, which has gone on the other side. So I'll need to order some of these to see if I can actually get them. They're all the same. So they're a ZDY. Actually, I should write it again. Let me write this down. I should be writing this down, because otherwise I'm going to get confused up front. Right, I won't write on that one. Let me write it on this one. Let me write down, it is a ZD4. ZD452. Diode. Right, and the other one I should be able to see, because it shows up. It gives. A good thing is about these old circuitries, if you take it out, you can see the markings where you've took it out from. But you just got to look on the board. There's not much on here. Now the one he took out is one of them long black ones, which is again looks like a voltage. It looks like a voltage regulator. Or it could just be another diode, another form of diode. But again, retro repairs, Grundig diagnostic dock. I'll have a look at that in a minute. Here it is, and it's right here. So these two look like they've been taken out of circuit. And I've got the other one. God, you really have to look now. So again, it's a Q. So I wonder what a Q is. I can Google it and find out. So it's a 452 replacement. I'm just going to put replacement. That's it. Right. now I know where he's pinched these two from. One up here and one there. So what I'm going to do, otherwise I'm going to find this as an issue. So I'm going to put a little dot up here and a dot up here. I put them black dots on, then I know exactly where he's took them from. Then I could just look at the dots, think, oh yeah, there they go. They go up here. Right. So he's pinched two off here. Obviously, both of these have got problems, which he didn't get to test. So the only other way is he's put one on there and the board is getting partial power because he's left these ones unplugged. So I'll need to test the other one. Really, what I should do is get what Mr. Swindon's got, which I haven't got one of them. Because these ones much better for some reason. My one, I tend to have this here. This is a transistor tester. I need to get one what Andy's got, because the one that he's got is just not only clearer, but these don't make great connections, and I've been having issues with these diodes because these transistors, diodes, MOSFETs, resistors, inductors and capacitors, and the DSR rating. So I think what I need to do is, for the time being, I ought to put these together. I'm going to go get some of these components ordered up and then order the same one as what Mr. Swindon's got, because obviously before I do anything else, it's because I'll be chasing my tail otherwise, going round in circles. But why I'm doing that is also check the components on the record deck, make sure they ain't gone bad. Obviously, because some of these have. All these record decks, bloody Nora. Right, that one's up there. Cool. Okay. And that one's up there. Cool. So, I need components. I've got to get glass fuses. So I've got to order a glass fuse, 2 diodes, well, one diode. I've got to Google on the other one, find out what's going on. Up front. So I'm going to do that off camera. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to end the stream here and do a little bit of researching, get some of these work on that front, get some of these components so I can at least put these back, because I've pinched bits out of one, but I need fuse for that, so I've got to try and hunt around for fuses. I know I can get these parts, I've got to see if I can get that alternative fuse on that front, and then we can go from there once I've got the bits. And I'm going to order one of them ones that Mr. Swindon's got, so I'm going to catch him in a chat, find out what model number he's got so I can get that ordered. I know that eBay do sell them. Obviously it's a lot better, a clearer reading compared to the one I've got. So thanks guys for popping on, much appreciated as usual, and I will catch you guys in the next stream. So thanks to everyone that's been lurking in the background, much appreciated. Link in the manual in the Discord. Yeah, that's all right, no problem. Thanks Hotcales, thanks Mr. Pico sir. Yeah, and then once I've got these parts ordered, I'll get these to come back. So I'm going to jump on Andy's stream and I'm going to ask him a few bits. Thanks guys, see you soon.